Welcome to Random-ish with Sonja. What's crack-a-lackin'? How you doing? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Excited, happy that I am back to do another episode. Boom, 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 boom. Well, you know, sister has been having to adjust to the new schedule. I am back on full-time radio. Whoop, whoop, whoop. 102.5 in Hartford. Exciting. I am loving the music, by the way. Loving, loving, loving. We finally had our first appearance for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Got to go and hang out with Madison last week, so that was cool. Been adjusting, but do not get a sister wrong. I am so happy and grateful for the crazy-ass schedule. I will take it. Because for a year and a half, I didn't do shit. You know, well, actually, let me not say that. I, during the pandemic, created this whole video thing and wrote the second book for Twerk the Energy. Oh, by the way, last time I checked, I think that we cracked the top 750,000 books right now for Manifest Beauty, Twerk the Energy, From Hoping to Knowing. It is on the rise again, so thank you. Whoop, 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 whoop. I'm just saying, sister, I am not and have always been. I will not tell you to do something that my ass is not doing. I am not into that. And those stories and everything that is written in there has been from experience and things I've gone through. And I'm just saying, I think I know a thing or two about manifesting your life. For real, and not having the parents or the connections or the whatever. Oh, man, highly blessed and favored. Speaking of highly blessed and favored, I want to send a big shout out and thank you so much to our sponsors. After all, we would not be up right now because I was like, we're not doing it. I'm not a real business. If I pay for this thing again, then we are not a real business. So I am super happy and grateful and thankful to our sponsors. So if you like shopping, which who doesn't? Men, women, kids, all kinds of good stuff is in this store. LaUniqueBoutique.com. She is open 24 hours a day online. You can also check her out here in Milford. Lots of really cute items in her store. It is a consignment shop, but high-end stuff, all kinds of great stuff. So definitely check it out. And it's not super pricey. Ships all over the world. Again, LaUniqueBoutique.com. And to our longtime sponsor, the Clothesline Laundromat. Thank you so much. A sponsor that I will not be trying to go get, though. Making news once again. This time, not for the people, but for the lack of just... I don't even know. I really don't have a word for it. Who needs to get fired at Walmart? That's what I would like to know. Whoever was the one that gave them the bright idea, let's trademark Juneteenth. Matter of fact, let's make an ice cream, okay? And we're going to make it the red velvet ice cream, which, by the way, there is a black-owned business that is doing the very well with the red velvet ice cream. So they could have just went to her. And then I bet you if they did that, like if they had actually in a way that was showing that they were about the unification, that they were about everybody being seen as human beings, then they would have went to this black owned business and they would have partnered with her to create a Juneteenth ice cream. That ain't what they did though. That ain't what they did though. No, the thing that I'm highly offended about, I am offended that you trademark Juneteenth. Number one. And it's the, and you, listen, I'm about unity, so it's not like I'm saying this as a general statement. The people over there at Walmart, absolutely tone deaf. Why would you do that? I'm hoping that they'll turn it around and then just hold the trademark so that nobody else has this bright, dumbass idea of trying to make a profit off of trying to correct one of the most horrible times of human history, of American history. Just unfreaking believable. But what I was more offended about, that it was the Great Value brand. I mean, damn. If you was going to do that, couldn't you have made up a brand for your store like Black Excellence or something like that? Couldn't you have made something up for that, you know? I mean, Am I the only one who's offended because it was the Great Value brand? Oh my goodness. Yeah, anyway. I got a good show for you today. I had to go in on that before I even tell you what we're talking about today. I was so just like, when I saw it, I was just like, no. I didn't even know they could trademark holidays. That's so dumb. You just, I'm sorry, but that is like a super clue and to tell you what type of human being you are. This is something that is literally for everyone. Christmas is for everyone. Thanksgiving is for everyone who wants to partake in it. And y'all over here trademarking Christmas and trademarking Thanksgiving. I'm just saying, whoever does that, like you are, I'm gonna move on now. All right, so in this episode, we are talking working on self. There's a couple of articles that I came across and I said, get out of here. Wow. Okay, so that's very interesting. And now I need to share this information. So we'll be talking about the 2-week rule and is it chemistry or compatibility? Did I say that wrong? I don't go to combat. We don't want you to be compatibility. Oh my God. Now, you would think I would erase this part, but I'm not. I'm going to leave it in. Are you compatible with somebody or is it just the chemistry? There you go. My mouth is working now. I've also got a couple of other news stories, the random question, and of course, the nerd in me. It's all coming up. Where do those stylish women you see down the street get their clothes? From boutiques, unique finds, and authenticity to your style. Create your style and be unique. LaUniqueBoutique.com. Okay, so the other day was Biggie Smalls' birthday. So MTA created a nice little keepsake of their MTA cards with Biggie Smalls on it. And of course, so it's like, oh my God, that's amazing. That is so great. Then I saw an article today saying that there are people selling their MTA cards and one is trying to come off with $10,000 with this MTA card. Okay, I think it's one thing if you get the MTA card because you know that there's people who, like myself, who was not in New York and was like, oh man, I wish I could have one of those, but I ain't giving you $10,000 for it, Joker. What's wrong with you? There are people who are paying fair amounts of money. There's quite a few people who've got it listed for $20 to $50. There's one for $10. And it's one joker who's looking to make about $9,000. What is it? 9,990. Wait, well, how much is the MTA card right now? Last I was there, it was like $275 for a ride. I wish I knew exactly how much it was right now. So anyway, the joker is trying to make a lot of money off of a card. I don't know. I just think that's not cool. You know what I mean? 10,000? Bro, you bugging. You about to be holding on to that card forever. Actually, it was probably somebody who was like, you need to sell that card. And they were like, okay, I'm going to put a price on it so big that nobody's going to buy it so I could just keep it forever. That's something I would do. Speaking of pretty smart. So I was telling you that we were going to talk about working on self today. So I saw a couple of articles. One of them I thought was pretty interesting. It's about goal achieving. Now, if you know anything about me or you know anything about energy or read or the books or listen to the podcast, or if you know me personally, you know that even though I'm a big believer in having goals, like there are things that you should be working towards and things that you are going towards in your life. However, I also believe that you kind of have to be super flexible and let those goals change. And if you're working with the energy, there are things that you might find out that you think you want, but you actually find out later on that you don't want, and you could be wasting your time. So this article that I came across actually is kind of speaking a little bit along those same lines for how you can goal achieve your way to your dream life. I am not talking about manifesting, y'all. Well, I thought that this was a really pretty interesting article, and I do think that there's probably a lot of truth to this when we are doing this in a way of using our willpower to make something happen. I think it's a pretty good idea. The 2-week rule. Inc. magazine just wrote about this, and what it means is if there's something that you're wanting to try, or if you're thinking you're wanting to try, I guess technically this is a little bit of the manifesting following rules of letting the momentum build. When I was a coach, I would often talk about that, and it was very much put in my face, and it actually was a driving, I would say, factor, and it was a motivating factor for me when I would talk to people and they would tell me, oh man, well, I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then I would ask them, okay, well, what are you doing to get yourself there? You know, are you taking walks? Are you trying to eat healthier? Are you having little bursts of, exercise? And you would be amazed at how many people would be like, no. And it's just something that they're talking about. It's just something that they're dreaming about. This article is pointing out that there might be a lot of things. Now, I will relate this to manifesting because I do believe in this. There are going to be things that you think you want to do that you're like, oh my God, I so want to make $10 million a year. I want to blah, 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 blah. But maybe you're not aware of all that it's going to take or all the action steps that are going to have to happen, the alignment that's going to have to happen of the energy before that manifestation can happen. So with this article, it's suggesting that if you have something that you want to do, try it out for 2 weeks. If you can find somebody who has been there before you and they can give you a roadmap and tell you do this, 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 and this. Again, when it comes to manifesting, don't do that shit. There's no exact roadmap when it comes to manifesting. Even my books, like seriously, if you read them, it's not a roadmap. I'm giving you the stories. I'm giving you aha moments, things you should be experiencing, but you can't get a roadmap. Not when it comes to manifesting. When it comes to like learning how to play the piano, you're gonna need to spend, an hour or two every day, kind of like learning the keys and learning your finger placement and that kind of stuff, and learning how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb and all of that good stuff. So what this article is suggesting, that instead of you beating yourself up for the rest of your life going, oh man, I should have learned how to play the piano. Oh man, I should have learned how to speak French. Oh man, I should have learned how to cut hair. Whatever it is that you're wanting to do, this article is suggesting that you try it out for 2 weeks, get a mentor, somebody who's actually gone before you, who can kind of give you maybe a schedule to follow. And if you can follow it for 2 weeks, that means you actually want to do it. Right? I think that's brilliant. That's brilliant. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, because there are things that you probably tell yourself that you want to do that you don't actually want to do. Just like I'm sure that there's so many people who are like, they think that they want to be a millionaire. They think that they want to have, fame. They want to have all of this stuff. But they don't want anybody bothering them. They don't ever want to go no damn where. They don't like people. They don't want to talk to people. So if you've got issues like that, well, unless you're planning on winning the lottery, usually to get to that type of level of money, you got to provide some kind of service for somebody. There's got to be an exchange somewhere. So it depends on what you actually want and what you say you want. And this 2-week rule will help you to figure that out. So if there's something you would like to do, my suggestion to you, try it out for 2 weeks, go balls to the wall. And if you cannot make it through the 2 weeks, if you can't do it every day for 2 weeks or every other day, whatever, then boo-boo, that's not something that you want to do. Stop fooling yourself and stop torturing yourself. That's not even something you want to do. Go find something you actually want to do. Okay, let's see. What do I got to do today? I gotta clean up the house. All right, number 2, let's see, some laundry. Who wants to do laundry? Yeah, I gotta cook something. It'd be nice if I eat today. And I gotta go to the... what? I'm so not doing laundry. I'm calling the clothesline. They've got free pickup and drop-off services.
Be sure to check out our Facebook page, The Clothesline, for cleaning tips you can use at home.
All right, so I've got the nerd in me is coming up. First, before I get into that, I saw another article about relationships because, we have to discuss and talk about relations a lot because I am still healing from my trauma. Yeah, I don't know. I like the way that sounds if I say that I'm still healing from my trauma. Nah, whatever. I have not been able to equate the things that I know about the laws in regarding to attracting a mate as I have with attracting everything else. Let's keep it freaking real, okay? Because I still, like many of us, still believe it's the other person. And yeah, we'll get a little hairy here as I say that. When we're talking about manifesting in the laws, it's never about the other person. It's always about your ass, my ass. Woo! And that is not always the easiest pill to swallow. So we're going to swallow a little bit of an easier pill by talking about manifested action. Hey, what do I mean by that? So when we're out dating in the real world, most of us are not really thinking about the laws and keeping these laws in our mind. We're just out doing shit, right? So this article I felt was very hit me in the face, made me say, oh, damn. I think this might be part of the reason that I be running into some problems. I am not going to lie. So are you ready to find out what it is? You ready? Okay, here we go. So there's chemistry and then there's compatibility. Just because you have chemistry with someone does not mean that you are compatible with that person. That's that whole lust and love, the difference between lust and love. I don't think it is, though. To be honest, I'm not sure that this chemistry versus compatibility is the same as lust and love, So what it's basically saying is there are 5 different signs that you could find out if you are actually just have chemistry with your partner, but you're not actually compatible with your partner. Again, I'm looking for compatibility. I have some compatibility, but you don't see no ring on his finger. So you know what I'm saying? We ain't been all the way compatible. You know what I'm saying? We need somebody who can deal with all of this and be okay. Don't try to compete. Don't try to belittle. Don't try to, you know what I'm saying? Okay. And don't feel some kind of way because I'm over here living my own great life. I know, right? You was like, damn, Sonja, that got personal real quick. That got personal and off track real quick. Oh my God. Okay, let me stop telling on myself and just tell you what these 5 things are. My God. Okay, so when the chemistry is super strong between the two of you, it can blind you to all of the things that you would technically not like about that person. I think that can be true. Sometimes just having a great chemistry with someone, it's just the firing is going off and you're not really paying attention to anything else. So number 1 was the first sign is that you don't know anything about the person, except that you have great chemistry. I've been there. So the chemistry will also, so now once you start to get to know somebody, right? And you're kind of like, I don't really care for these things about this person. However, the chemistry that you're feeling between the two of you will help you to ration some lies. Yeah, okay. Rationalize those red flags. Oh yeah, that's something that I've done. Okay, you have no idea what the person is valuing or if what they value in life is going to line up with your values because you're too busy going, oh my God, you're so attractive. Oh my God, you excite me. Oh my God, I can't wait to see you so that we can, you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh my, I feel when I saw this article, which is why I'm sharing it, I felt so red, so seen. I was like, I'm sorry. Have these people been in my motherfucking phone and trying to tell me, you better not, Sonja. Listen, I be knowing the difference between chemistry and compatibility. I just be acting like I don't. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just got to have fun. Sometimes you just got to have some fun and just know that it's chemistry and not compatibility. Number 4. Could you date the person with your eyes closed? If you couldn't see how fine she is or how handsome he is, and you had to just listen to him, would you still think they were hot? Yeah, we're going to leave. I am not even going to say nothing on that one. And then the 5th way for you to be able to tell that it's really just chemistry and not compatibility, and this is your Mr. or Mrs. right now and not your forever, is because you felt this way in the past. You've dated some other people who got you all excited. You was all happy and you were like, ooh. Being excited about someone is not the same as having compatibility with someone and being able to spend the rest of your life with somebody. So I personally am looking for a combination. I need you to excite me. Believe you me. If I don't find you attractive, we're not doing this. It's not happening, okay? I need you to excite me, but I also need us to be compatible. I need you to be okay with like what's getting ready to come up in the next like 30 seconds. I need you to be okay with the nerd in me. You feel me? Bah, 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 bah. What's going on? Dun, 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 dun. Nerd in me. I seriously need a theme song. I need like a Superman, Superwoman, super person thing for when I do the nerd in me. I'm just saying. And I'm dizzy, so let me hold on tight to the chair real quick. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm totally running out of time over here. Had way too much fun talking about working on ourselves and some of the chemistry issues. The nerd in me. So, something that I find very interesting was happening in space. All right, so the Voyager 1 is what I'm talking about. It is out in space, and the dope thing is, it is still working, you guys. Like, this is amazing. Back in 2012, and I remember talking about the fact that the Voyager 1 passed through the heliopause in 2012. Right now, the images that I know I had to just skip over that because I will literally sit here for another 45 minutes talking about this whole new world thing and what's happening and whoop-de-whoop and So I'm going to skip over that. And we're going to go right into the fact that this spacecraft, so to speak, is 44 years old and it is out there right now inside of the void. Now, this void is what happens in between the galaxies. So it's literally outside of our Milky Way and is in the void. It's in this interstellar medium. And the images that it is sending back, the scientists are like, what the fuck is this? Now, this is the first piece of artificial anything that's been this far into space. So you got to kind of expect that the readings that they're going to get back, they might not necessarily know how to interpret, but it's still very, very interesting to know that number 1, the thing is still working, and number 2, that it's still working. Now, I will say this. I also just saw an article about Albert Einstein's theory of relativity and how they were able to now show the time-space, I'll say continuum, and how it works with, and how time is relevant to the person observing and the person doing. So basically they took 2 planes, they flew them in opposite directions to see what was going to happen. And it seems to be that the way that this goes is, so for the observer who is observing something, time is moving slower than it is for the person who is moving. Or time is moving slower for the person who is moving than the person observing. Thank you. I said that backwards, okay? I'm wondering if it's because the Voyager has been in constant motion and has been constantly moving, so that here on Earth, 44 years that have passed by, you know, we are aging, but the 44 years that the Voyager 1 is moving throughout space, is it experiencing time at a different rate? And that's why this thing is still working. That's why it's still sending images. It makes you things that make you go, the nerd in me. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I think that we should definitely get a little bit more research and figure that one out. Because I don't know if you ever noticed that if you're having fun, I notice this a lot. When I'm having fun, when I'm in motion, time, it seems that the time is moving fast, but it's also slowed down in a very odd way. It's like you're in the moment and you're living and it's just like blissful and wonderful. And then all of a sudden you look up and it's, 2:00 in the morning type of a deal. Versus if you were just standing there watching somebody doing it, it's like, oh my God, could you speed it up? So I'm just curious about that, if that has anything to do with how things are going and how things are aging, because that's another thing I'm working on. We're going to leave that alone. Moving on to the next story for the nerd in me. This is relative because, as you know, I DJ at a strip club. I did not even know that they did this a few years back, but so apparently the Sapphire Club in Las Vegas has a couple of stripper robots.
We were trying to appeal to a different audience who might say, wow, that sounds fun. It's 6 people here from a company, 3 men, 3 women saying, let's go check out the stripper robots. Where on a normal basis, they may not want to come to a gentleman's club.
Now, I personally would just like to know, even if you are a person who's not necessarily into strip clubs, but why would you go to see a robot stripper though? Apparently it is drawing in crowds and the robot strippers are giving the real strippers a run for their money. Okay. I think it's cute though, the little thing, the gyration that she's doing. I think it's very cute. It's kind of cute. But you can't move like us though, boo. You can't move like us. But I don't know. Maybe we should get one. Should we have a robot stripper that just... Yeah, no. No, I don't see any. No. That is no. Because then we're going to have a group that's going to, protect the robots from the crazy people who are doing nasty things to them. I'm going to stop right now. I'm going to stop right now. Oh my God. Let's get into the random question before I get myself into trouble. Oh my gosh. We need a group to protect the robots from the people trying to take advantage of the robots. I'm just saying. Whew. Oh, nice. I like this. Okay. So random question. Dun, 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 dun. Maybe I might be able to get the camera to zoom in on it. We'll see. With this question is a loaded freaking answer. All right. So the question is, does a fucked up past or self-mental harm mean a doomed future? I think the answer to that question is absolutely not. And then absolutely yes. If you don't do anything to try to heal yourself, or if you're not realizing that you are fucked up, then you're going to repeat those patterns and do fucked up things to other people. However, if you do realize that you've been changed by some of the things that have happened to you, then you have an ability to self-reflect, to compartmentalize a little bit the pain, and to move forward and to make sure that you're taking steps that you don't inflict that same pain onto others. The thing that I find the most, I guess, ridiculous, I feel, is that when you've been hurt and you've been abused and you've had people do bad things to you, I am not trying to single you guys out or anything, but so say, for example, if you saw your mother get beat up, or if you saw your dad being crazy to you, or if your dad didn't treat you the way you wanted him to treat you, and then you grow up and turn around and do that to somebody else, I'm not trying to call you like names and everything like that, but what the F is wrong with you? How the hell do you have pain as a kid, remember that you had that pain as a kid, transition into an adult, and then turn around and do the same shit to somebody else? That does not make sense to me. So I understand that it can happen, but I personally think it is every person's responsibility to do your own self-healing. It is everybody's responsibility to get into alignment. It is not our responsibility to take care of other people and to make them get into alignment. You be in alignment. You take care of you. You show the example. And then other people, when they're ready and they're looking at you, will ask and inquire. And then you can tell them the things that you've done. And then they can start their own healing journey. But I think that it's up to the individual. I think that, yes, it doesn't make sense to me. But it seems to be that if you've been harmed, and if you don't do some type of self-care, that you will then go and harm others. But I think that wisdom and education and in a good way, social media and the internet has made it so that that's not acceptable. Like, it's just not. It used to be, but now it's just not acceptable, because now it's an understanding that if you've had things happen to you and you're not doing anything about it, that's just you, boo. That's just you, and you don't want to do anything about it. So I do not think that you are doomed to have a horrible future if you've had a fucked up past. But I do think it's more likely if you don't do something about it. But if you do something about it, I personally think that majority of the greats in this world, but I think for those companies that have been around for hundreds of years, the kids didn't go through anything, right? But I think that that's the reason why these companies are great the way they are, is because somebody had a fucked up past, somebody had some fucked up shit happening, and they were like, I ain't taking it no more. I refuse to go back. I'm going to make a difference. I want to be one of those people too. Actually, fuck want to. I am one of those people. Manifest beauty, y'all.